One-step inequalities, multiplying and dividing. So when solving inequalities using multiplication and division, you're going to apply the inverse operation. And this is the same thing like we would have done with equations. Remember, we're treating our inequality symbol like an equation symbol because we're going to balance out both sides of our inequality so that it remains true when we simplify. So if I have 6x is greater than 42, remember a coefficient and a variable next to each other means that we would multiply. So the inverse of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 6. Okay, so 6 divided by 6 would be 1. 42 divided by 6 is 7. So x is greater than or equal to 7. We have a we do here. 3 is less than or equal to 27. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3 because it's the inverse operation. And I get x is less than or equal to 9. Down here I have 4x is less than 88, and I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So I get x is less than 22. Over here I have 9x is greater than or equal to 45. Divide both sides by 9. I have x is greater than or equal to 5. So let's look at the second half. We have division problems now, and we know the inverse operation of division is multiplication. And when we did our equation notes, we talked about multiplying by the inverse. So this would be multiplying by 3 over 1 on both sides because the 3 would cancel out. But the short-term version that we decided was that if we multiply our two rational numbers, we'll get x equals less than 24. Okay. So over here, we're going to multiply 10 and 7. X is greater than or equal to 70. And as you see, I may not have emphasized it, but we're just bringing down our inequality symbol each time. X is, let's see, 2 times 21, less than 42. And then I have x is less than or equal to 48. Okay. Look at this one right here. So now we're going to do 2 steps here. We're going to solve the inequality and then we're going to graph the solution. Okay. So simplifying, we're going to divide both sides by 8. Divide both sides by 8. You have x is less than or equal to 9. Then we're going to come over here and put our integer 9 in the middle. X is less than or equal to, so that means we're going to have a closed circle on top of my 9, because when I say less than or equal to, it could be 9. And then I'm going to draw my arrow here to the left. My we do is x divided by 7 is greater than or equal to 12, so I'm going to multiply 7 and 12. I don't know the answer to that. Oh my gosh. Is it 72? Oh my gosh. I know. 12 times 7. It's 84. So x is greater than or equal to 84. 84 goes in the middle. Greater than or equal to means a closed circle above my 84. And then pointing to the right because x is going to be bigger. So my 2 u-dos. 3x is less than 63, so I divide both sides by 3, and I get x is less than 21. 21 in the middle. Less than is just going to be an open circle, and x is less than, so we're going to go to the left. Now I have x divided by 2 is greater than 17. So multiply my 2 and 17, 34. So x is greater than 34. 34 in the middle. Open circle for greater than, and we point to the right. Okay? So let's tackle some word problems. Cammie earns $10 an hour babysitting. If she is saving to buy a new bicycle for $140, write and solve an inequality that represents the number of hours she must work. Well, I don't know how many hours, so I'm going to say $10 per hour, and I want to get the bike, right? So whatever I earn has to be greater than or equal to $140, okay? Now I say greater than or equal to because if she doesn't have enough, she can't buy it, but she can have exactly 140. So that's where the equal to comes from. And if I divide both sides by 10, her hourly rate must be greater than or equal to $14. There you go. Now I have, at a garage sale, Ben spots Blu-ray discs for $5 each. What a steal. If Ben has $45, right? Nope. Right? And solve an inequality that represents the number of Blu-rays discs he can purchase. So, I don't know how many, right? So we're going to say 5 times each disc. Whatever he has must be less than or equal to 45. Now we say less than because he only has $45, so he couldn't spend more than. So if I divide both sides by 5, he could buy, the number of discs he could purchase be less than or equal to 9 discs. And then my you do. Sarah can lift a maximum of 132 pounds. I don't know why there's a dollar sign there. If each weight weighs 6 pounds, write and solve an inequality to represent the number of weights Sarah can lift at one time. So, each weight weighs, so I know. So 6 times the number of weights I have must be less than or equal to 132. I say less than because she can't lift any more than 132. So if we divide both sides by 6, she would have to have the number of weights she has. It has to be less than or equal to 22 weights. There you have it, my friends.